Welcome to my trap house.
They close that door. Matter of fact, leave it open. Too much traffic anyway.
Welcome to my trap house. Trap house. Kitchen stay clean.
If co-defendant Davon Bennett had not passed away, he would have been indicted for this incident and would have been found guilty, might I add. Now, let's see. It stated in the motion declining to indict Mr. Banks, the Atlanta PD had evidence to establish probable cause to arrest him. The standard of proof, however, it's considerably lower than the beyond a reasonable doubt for standard proof at required trial, which the evidence in the case does not meet. So if that's the case, how could Von could have gotten, make it make sense, y'all? If they were supposed to be together and Dirk can't be indicted, how could Von have been indicted? Or am I missing something? Let's continue.
Believing when we told y'all King Von wasn't as cool with some of the guys as y'all thought, Dirk in particular, when you take into account a few things such as when Boss Top tried to put the camera on Von when him and Dirk was on FaceTime and he knocked the camera out the way, right? Then the song, I Don't Know Why He Told, when everyone swears he was talking about Big A, right? When in the video you see the person he was referring to with an OTF chain on. Then from J Hood telling us that Dirk and King Von wasn't really cool like that. Then Dirk beating the case, they all caught together. But then the DA saying if King Von was alive, he would have been arrested for it, despite the visual evidence that they actually had against Dirk. Then this song right here that King Von put out.
Imagine bringing your...
Take this time to like the video, y'all. Come on, man, we're not just making these things up. And even back then in 2020 where everybody was hating because certain people were saying certain things and we were conspiracy theorists and things like that. And now a lot of these things have come to a head. Come on, man, we're not just making shit up.
Clearly telling you if he was killed, then it was an inside job. That's him saying that out his own mouth. So you see how things are starting to come together. And hearing this song makes me wonder what other songs King Von had before he was killed.
What other songs did he have before he was taken that somebody might not have wanted the world to hear? If the world knew for sure that Donovan was responsible for this whole thing, his career would be finished. Von had the hearts of the people. He had the streets. Like, people had a soft spot for Von for some reason. Like, period. Even me. But we're not saying he had wings or anything like that. But I just think it's due to how he was taken out. And it was for all of us to see. And then the dude behind it and the cloud that's above him, that dark cloud that just looms around this dude for some reason. But it's crazy because he found his way out of countless situations. They even said about the situation where people ran to his home and this and that. And yeah, come on, man. Yeah, come on, man.
That was just like this one, or probably worse. Y'all remember when we heard that a certain person sent another certain person to Von's house as soon as he passed away to collect his hard drives, right? Y'all remember that? So the next question is, was the hard drives taken so they could see what Von was putting in his music in fear that he would expose something they didn't want put out? All right? It makes you wonder. But at this point, it's all starting to make sense. Now, when we talk about edits, right, and the edits that was done to a lot of these records, we heard that DQ and Youngin from the Jets, he was actually taking off the newest song that Von put out, which is kind of strange to me because at the end of the day, if Von put these two guys on a track with him when he was alive, 9 times out of 10, that means that he wanted them guys on that track. So why take them off? Why go against his wishes? Then you have Buka 600. He came out with a very interesting post on his Instagram story where he said, quote, by the way, at DQ and at Younger from the Jets smoked they verses, fire emojis. I wonder what they did with them. All right. So that tells us that they didn't even know that they was taking off that song. Nobody gave them a warning. Nobody told them why. Nobody even told. Back in Blood featuring Pooh Shiesty. No, keep in mind, the song on the new album is switched to Phil Jackson. It's the same song as Let It Bust, they just changed the title. And even if you go back on YouTube and listen to the old song, when it was put out, I guess under a different title about a year ago, it's still edited out. Something ain't right. The line definitely touched someone to the point to where they had it removed. Guess what? For some strange reason, after Vaughn died, somehow the F Lil Mr. part was edited out.
Wasn't Lil Mr. Durk's cousin? This is weird because I want to say this. There's a dude, something Osama from Chicago, that allegedly had his chain snatched from some THF guys. Why does Durk hire these people that really don't internally coagulate? They don't internally really come together. It just looks good on camera. And I can't say it looks good on camera because that's just perception, pure perception. But in the eye of the people, like, a lot of people take it as face value and they'll just, yeah, that's, let me shut up.
You know, keep in mind, the song on the new album is switched to Phil Jackson. It's the same song as Let It Bust, they just changed the title. And even if you go back on YouTube and listen to the old song, when it was put out, I guess under a different title about a year ago, it's still edited out. Wood hump. Now, of course, some of y'all swore he was removed. And if you want to get deeper into the quote-unquote conspiracies, as y'all like to call it, Vaughn was on live when he previewed that song just a month before he passed away. Coincidentally, on the song Back in Blood featuring Pooh Shiesty, Lil Durk says, quote, "He was dissing on my cousin, now his ass stuffed in that wood hump." Now, of course, some of y'all swore he was just talking about random ops, but if you know, then you know. Some of this stuff be clear as day, man, but I think just because it goes against what y'all call normal, y'all turn a blind eye to it all the time. But it's literally right in our face, but it don't get no clearer than this. And
We're going to end it right there. If y'all want to check it out, check out Hookah Anonymous's page, and it's King Von Predicts his own. Yeah. Now, let's get back to internal camaraderie. Why would you have so many guys as a collective that really don't get along? I'd be damned if somebody on my label and their homies take my watches. But then again, I was a part of a movement that had that same issue too, but it was because Offset didn't like to pay debts, allegedly. And I really don't have to say allegedly, but yeah, that's my little baby and all them and all that stuff. And that caused a major split. A major split. My nephew and my little brother got caught up in that, to the point where they had to choose sides. You're either going to go with Migos and YRN, or you're going to go with Lil Baby and 4PF. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, you guys. $ Trap House Kitchen 1. Anything helps at this point. And make sure y'all like the video. If you care enough, share it. I'm out. Peace.